Hello, friends. Hello. I'm not laughing to make light of the situation. I'm laughing because this feels bizarre, doesn't it? So, if you haven't heard, welcome to the conversation. Tonara, which is a practice app, has announced that it is closing. Now, if you don't use Tonara, this doesn't matter to you. You can move along. You can ignore all the drama that is happening right now. But for those teachers out there who use Tonara, this feels like a pretty big deal because you have set up your entire library of assignments, you have all your students in there, you're invested in that app in more than just money, right? And now you have to find someplace else to put it. And not only that, you have to somehow get it off Tonara and onto somewhere new, or at least download it to your computer somehow. So it's tough. So what I wanted to do was come on here, kind of last minute, but I just felt the need to come on here and encourage you to take a deep breath with me because we're going to get through this together, and also to give you some bits of advice and encouragement and hopefully bring the community together a little bit as well. So a little bit more backstory. First of all, I recently, just on Monday, launched a new practice app that would have been, I guess, a competitor to Tonara. I did not know they were closing like 3 days later. That was a huge surprise to me. But I'm going to do what I can to help people migrate away from Tonara and whatever. This isn't to pressure you to join my practice app. It's just to provide you information in general on how to leave Tonara, and then a bit of information on Vivid in case it's the right one for you to move to. So, first off, let's take that deep breath, right? Can everyone just inhale deeply? 1, 2, 3, and let's exhale deeply. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and now let's begin. Because this whole situation, as in the emotions around it, the posts around it, they are not similar to, but they feel in emotions similar to the very start of the COVID pandemic. Now, it's not as serious and it's a totally different situation and it doesn't affect anyone's health, which is great, but it feels like emotions are running high. So that's why I wanted to start with the deep breath. If you're watching, I hope you took a deep breath with me. And do ask me questions as we go through, okay? So I'm going to share what you can do and what I recommend, and we're going to keep watching this space and sharing with each other, right? Janelle said, oh my God, yes, I have PTSD COVID feelings, right? Yeah, that's what it felt like to me. Like last night especially, I was like, oh my gosh, was that a Thursday as well that it was announced in Ireland? Anyway, it just felt like a flashback. It was very strange as I answered everyone's message. But in a way, like I did then, I'm going to step in and try and help as much as I can because people are panicking and it is stressful and it is really, really unfortunate that they did this in September. I'm not going to gloss over that. That's tough. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure there were circumstances around it, but a lot of us have a lot going on in September, yes? So in a way, I'm in a lucky situation because I launched the app. I had to, over the summer, move everything from Tonara into that app so that I could test it, right? I'm not lucky to have just launched the app and Tonara closed. That might sound like great fortune for me, but honestly it's not because it puts a lot of pressure on a brand new app. However, I'm going to do my best to help us all get through it. So, I've been through this summer is what I'm saying, and I'm here to help you as much as I can. But I will tell you right up front, there is no easy way to do this. If Tonara has said about like downloading your things or saving the things to your computer, I don't think they have a way to export a file. From what I know of Tonara, there's no way to do that currently. And they don't seem to be providing any information about giving that option. If they do, that's amazing. I would love that. But if they don't, we need to get moving at manually moving some stuff. So going to show you how I did that and how you might be able to do it, okay? Before we go any further, I want to also mention that we have a Facebook group that I've just set up. around this issue. It is not there to promote vivid practice. Now, full disclosure, of course, vivid practice might come up as one of the options, but I'm not going to delete anyone's post if they say they prefer another app. Okay? That's fine. It's there for discussion. I'm really setting it up so that we can all connect with each other, because I noticed these panic discussions happening in every Facebook group I'm a part of. And I was like, okay, number one, everyone's panicking and kind of saying the same thing in different ways and trying to share information between groups. And number two, the people who aren't on Tonara are like in these groups going, what the heck? What's going on? So I set up this group so we can all go there and talk about it in that one spot. Okay, so it's called Tonara Expats. Tonara Expats. I'll show it on screen later. Siri thought I was talking to her. I don't know why. Tonara Expats. If you want to look for that group, we'd love to have you. If you use Tonara, you're just curious about this stuff, you can join. Okay. Now let's talk about how we export things from Tonara, even though we can't really export things from Tonara. Okay, so I'm going to show you my screen. So this is Tonara, and I've kind of cut it off in a weird way. That's because this is my actual Tonara. I don't want to show you any students, okay? So I'm not going to go to the student area, but I am going to show you a little bit about the repertoire and some things you can do and you can't do. Okay, so when I was transferring everything over this summer to Vivid Practice, we did go into each one, copy the name of the assignment, and put it in the correct folder that we wanted in Vivid, and copy the notes across. So it's literally just copying, pasting one by one with the stuff that we needed to do. If there were PDFs attached, that's quite easy to deal with, okay? Because when you click on the PDF in Tonara, that actually downloads. Now for you, it might open in a new tab. For me, it directly downloads to my downloads folder. If it doesn't do that, it's probably opening in a second tab. So you can then right click on that and save it to your file. So that's an easy way to get your PDFs, and you can just like upload things one by one. Okay? I'm going to talk about other options later, but that's if you're doing them one by one. Again, let me know if you have questions, if anything's confusing as I go through. Where it gets really sticky and annoying, honestly, is when you have audio or video attached. So you still copy across to your notes and your titles and stuff, and that's just copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Now, when it comes to the audio, if you click on that, it's not even going to open in a new window. It's just going to play right there. You can edit the title. That doesn't help you at all. So if that happens and you don't have that file on your computer, here's what you should do. You need to go to My Media and find the same file. Once it loads. And Anna-Marie, if it's a little blurry for you, I'd say it's actually the internet. So I'd say if you watch this on the replay, it will actually work better. I'm afraid I can't do anything from my end to make it less blurry because it's at full clarity for me. Yeah. So hopefully it helps if you watch the replay. Or you can follow kind of what I'm saying. Now, if I search for a day in... Oops. There's a delay there. A day in the... Okay, so this is the file. Now, again, this is only if you haven't got it on your computer. If you have it on your computer, it's going to be faster to just upload it from there. But if you're stuck, you search for it in Tonara Media, click on it, but don't click here, the checkbox. Click on the file. Okay. Now you click this download button. For some of you, that will actually download. For others of you, like me, it will look like this, where it just opens in a new tab in your browser. And you'll be like, it didn't even download, and I press a download button. Can I not download it? You can. You just have one more step. You have to right-click on this and then save audio as. And that's how you can get your file out of Tonara. It's annoying, not going to lie to you. It's not easy, but it is possible. So if you have audio that is only on Tonara and does not exist anywhere else that you can take it from, that is what you should do. Such as if like you recorded things into it or you have tracks that just aren't anywhere else, that's the best step you can take. But if you have another website like where you originally got the audio from and it's possible for you to just download it from there, I would recommend that. This takes a while. It's pretty annoying to do. Okay, so that's going one by one. Janelle, that's hilarious. That would be fun to rent an Airbnb and just do it all together and like scream "Ah!" the entire time. Okay, so that's one by one. Now, some other options. If you're like, I cannot do this. This is going to kill me. I understand. It did take, to give you an estimate actually, because that might be helpful. If you're going to do this manually, and you have a lot of audio that you have to individually download and stuff like that, I would estimate that this takes you a full working week, as in like 40-ish hours. That's my guess for you based on our experience doing this over the summer. Obviously, we were testing other things at the same time, so it's not exact, but there's an estimate for you. Depending on the numbers of repertoire you have, of course. We have about 1,500, I think. Okay, so other options, right. In Vivid Practice, this is Vivid Practice. You don't have to be using this to follow my advice, okay? But I'm going to show you something in here. So when we're in assignments here, if you click on bulk upload assignment, we have this feature. And you can download a sample file. So that is a CSV file. If you've never heard of that before, that's like a spreadsheet, but it's a more universal version. It stands for comma separated values. So it's a CSV file. You open it in any spreadsheet software, like Google Sheets, Mac Numbers, or Excel, and you set up your things in there, and then you can upload it. The reason I'm bringing this up is not just because you can do it in Vivid Practice. That's an option. If you want to move to Vivid Practice, hopefully this will help you. But it's also, I encourage you to do this, set up a spreadsheet while you're exporting stuff from Tonara, before putting it wherever you're going next, even if they don't have a spreadsheet upload option. Take all the things off Tonara if you're going through the effort of doing that. Put at least the text of what you're doing into a spreadsheet and save it somewhere super safe on your computer so that this can never ever happen to you again. Okay? You need a backup of this stuff. And it's really, really annoying that you can't download it from Tonara. I wish that you could. But if that's the case, let's make it that it never can happen to you ever again. Yes, you will still have to attach the files separately and stuff, but if you save this all in one spot and continue adding to that spreadsheet as you add more assignments or notes or whatever, at least you have a backup going forward, okay? So if you're using Vivid Practice, you'll be able to format that in a way that you can upload it. I'm not going to go through like a tutorial of that here because I have a tutorial video on the site and it would overwhelm people to go through that now. So just know that that's an option. It's in the tutorial videos on the Vivid Practice site. And yeah, you can test it out for yourself and see how it works. The other thing about the CSV files, what we're doing right now is we are setting up CSVs with some of the major method books out there with the basic information already in. So that's going to be the piece title, the page number it's on, the book it's in, yeah, is that it? Obviously, it's piano is the category, and yeah. So it just gives you a starting point. This isn't going to be everything you have in Tonara. Even if it is the book that you had in Tonara, it's not going to have your personal notes. It's not going to have attachments. But it does give you a starting point, and I'm hoping it goes some way to relieving some of the stress. And again, I recommend you save this locally, safely, on your computer, in your Google Drive, wherever you want to put it, so that you have it as a backup. You have something. Because when you download these from us, you can put in your own notes there as well. So you'll have all of that. What you won't have there is the attachments, but it does give you a starting point. I keep saying you can't have attachments. I should explain that. You couldn't put that in a CSV file. It wouldn't be possible. Like, you can't put a file within it. So when you're uploading a CSV to our site, you're not adding attachments as part of that step. You have to do that later. But it's a great option for giving you a starting point, giving you all the pieces, the page numbers, and your notes if you want to put those in for everything in one go. So they all upload and they're all these separate assignments. You can do it in one go. Yeah, hopefully that explains that. So that's what we're doing. Let me know if there's anything else I can do. It's out of my power to get inside Tonara and like rip data off them. I can't do that. So this is my way of trying to provide something that helps a little bit. The other thing we're trying to do is answer messages really fast on the Vivid Practice site. So I'm personally handling a lot of those because I want people to get a fast response. As I said, we launched this app on Monday, okay? And then this happened yesterday, Thursday. So I was honestly planning for a quieter launch, a quieter app start than this. That's the truth. I'm not saying I'm not grateful for any new customers that come our way or that the site will be overloaded. It won't. It'll be fine. But I was sort of expecting to have, a few people try it out this week and then give us some feedback and we would iterate, and we don't have that kind of time. And if you were on Tonara, you don't have that kind of time, do you? Because you have to get everything out of there into somewhere else by November. That's the deadline they've given you. At least we have something. We have a month and almost 2 months to do it. So we have time. We can get it done. You don't have to do it this weekend, okay? Don't go stressing that much. But this is my advice, is set up those CSV files no matter where you're going so that next time, hopefully there is no next time, but if there were, this won't happen to you again. Carmen just said, I think you have to have a note of some kind on the CSV file. That's referring specifically to within Vivid. That's currently the case, so if you've encountered that, that is true. However, we're fixing it, actually, so that you don't have to have a note. So if people don't want to put anything in the notes section when they're uploading their bulk assignments, they don't have to. So we are responding to any feedback we get and trying to keep things as helpful as we can for teachers as they're moving from Tonara. We're not Tonara. We don't do all the same things. We do a lot of similar things. And for me, at least, we do the most valuable things that Tonara was doing, but we do some things differently. So you're welcome to try it out. Go to vividpractice.com, set up a free account. That'll allow you to have one student, so you can test the teacher side and the student side by creating a student account and logging in on the app with that information. And then you can test out all the features. It's nothing like that's withheld from a free account, okay? It's just limited to one student. Catherine, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it so far, and thank you for any feedback you've provided. If you find any bugs, as I say, we're a new app, so report them. We'll get them squished as soon as we possibly can. One thing I wanted to sort of go through, for those out there who don't know me very well, and you're considering Vivid, but you're feeling really iffy about everything because Tonara just pulled a rug out from under you and you're feeling like, I don't want to go with someone who's going to do that again. I just want to do what I can to get rid of some of those concerns. So first of all, yes, Vivid is a new app. I keep saying that. We just launched. However, I'm not new at this. So I've been running my business since 2013, helping music teachers in various ways, providing resources. And I've been running a membership site called Vibrant Music Teaching for the past 6 years. That's how I've been able to launch this app. And that's how I am sure it's not going to crash and burn within a year, as many apps do, because we're not relying on outside investment. We're not relying on it being profitable right away. No, it's not going to be. We're losing money over here. But I have provided for that on purpose so that this can go for the long haul. Okay? So just know that I'm committed to it. I'm not coming out of nowhere just with this app, and I've never done anything like this before. It is something I know what I'm doing. The whole app thing is new to me, but the technology, internet business thing is not, and we are here to stay. If we ever did have to close the app, I can promise you one thing, I would not do it in September. So, one more thing about Vivid and its future and all of that is that I'm very committed, again, if you don't know me, I'm very committed to responding to teacher feedback. I am one of you. I'm a teacher. I run a small school here in Dublin, in Ireland, and with several teachers working for me, I teach 5 days a week myself. Okay, so I know what it's like. I know what we need. And more importantly, I listen to teachers when they tell me stuff. I hope that members will know that. We shape things to make them make sense for the teachers that we serve. Now, that doesn't mean that any feature you request is going to get added. It means I'm going to consider it. And it means the app is going to be shaped in future by what you need, what features you want to be added. Okay? So, one more idea I wanted to float by you, which is I have had this idea even before this Tonara situation happened. I've had this idea that we could provide a sort of concierge service where we move things for you from Tonara to Vivid Practice. I cannot possibly do this for free. As I said, it's about a full week of work, depending on what you have in. And we can't guarantee we're going to make it all look the same because it's not all going to look the same. But if this is something you might be interested in, knowing that there would have to be a charge for this, let me know. Because this is something that's on my mind right now. Could we be providing this? I mean, we could, by deploying extra staff to work on it. Is it something teachers would be up for? Or do you want the control because you want the reset button of organizing it all yourself again? Even though it's pain, maybe that's what you want to do. So yeah, let me know whether that might be of interest and maybe, yeah, what you would be able to pay for it. Because I know the whole financial situation as well. This is a tough time to be doing any of this. But I wanted to float the idea more to be like, we wouldn't make a profit off it, by the way. That would be impossible. But I wanted to float the idea more because I'm worried that teachers are going to work way overtime and completely burn themselves out, considering this is September as well as everything else. So yeah, let me know about that. Your next steps. Okay, first of all, join the Facebook group. So let me show you that. This is the Facebook group I've set up. So as I said, it's called Tonara Expats. Feel free to join. I just set it up a few hours ago. So we've got a few members so far. You're very welcome to join us if you're moving from Tonara or just have issues around this stuff. I'm hoping we can start some discussions there. As I said, there have been these panic discussions happening in every Facebook group I'm a part of at various stages of Thursday night into Friday morning for me. So I just wanted to give us one place where you can connect with other people going through the same thing as you, who can discuss the options that are out there, and hopefully we can make this transition a little bit easier for you. Okay? Right. Other thing. So join the group, set up your free Vivid account if you want to try it out. As I say, it's totally free and there's no time limit on that. It's not a free trial. It's just a free account with one student. Send us messages if there's anything you're stuck on or want to see done differently. I'm logging all the feature requests as I get them, and we'll keep those in mind in terms of our priorities and where we can go. And obviously responding to any support requests and bugs as well. One more thing on the feature side of things that I almost forgot is about group teachers. So maybe if you're not a group teacher, you want to fly away now, and that's fine. I've been asked by several group teachers as soon as the Tonara thing was announced about whether we were going to support groups. Now, in my initial planning of this app, I was like, will we do groups? Will we, I do want to do them at some stage. Will we put this in as like a priority from the start thing, or will I delay it? And I decided no, groups is a stage 2 or stage 3 thing for us, because we're going to start with a core demographic of teachers who teach one-on-one lessons, right? Because that is still what most teachers do. I decided to start with that and then consider the groups as we went forward. However, Tonara is especially important for many group teachers. So although you might not be the majority, I do see you and I see how much it's hurting you, because this is very difficult to make this transition. If you're a group teacher, you've got even more to manage generally. So I want to do what I can to help. I don't have an answer for you yet, other than obviously you can use it as it is and just assign things to multiple students each time. So you can go into each student in your group and assign it. That's the workaround for now. It's not ideal. I'm in discussions already with my developer talking about how we could implement this, how much it's going to take in terms of development and therefore how long it might take us to do. But I am looking to see if we can fast track that, especially on the assignment side. I think it's going to be group assignments and group messages are kind of two separate things in my plans for where the app is going. And so the group messages I'm pushing down because I've listened to the group teachers that have got in contact with me, and it's the assignments that's really going to hurt them in terms of, being able to manage all of their group classes. So I'm working on that. I'll have an answer for you hopefully early next week on that if you want to sit tight, or if you want to dive in and explore it just on your own and see whether it might be a good fit in other ways. And then I'll get back to that on that hopefully early next week, because they do have to, scope it out and see how much it's going to take before we have an estimate. Okay, so that's the groups thing. Any questions about it, let me know, but hopefully answers for you next week. Last thing I wanted to mention is next Thursday, myself and Samantha Coates are going live again to talk about vivid practice. Now, we planned this again before Tonara didn't exist. Doesn't not exist yet. You know what I'm saying. So me and Sam were chatting earlier in the week, and she's a Tonara user, and she said, "Oh, I was wondering if you wanted to do a little interview because I have questions about the difference between this and Tonara that I'm sure other people have." So basically we set up this live to talk with each other. She's going to ask me a few questions that are on her mind, and hopefully it'll help some of you think about how vivid practice works and stuff as well. And we set it up while Tonara was still an option, so she was still weighing up her options. She doesn't have the option of sticking with Tonara anymore, but obviously we're still going ahead with the interview, and I hope it'll be interesting. So that'll be here on Facebook and here on YouTube, depending on where you're watching this. So you can watch it either of those places. It is not super US friendly time because Samantha Coates, if you don't know her, she's in Sydney, Australia. So it's going to be like the morning for me and the evening in Australia, New Zealand, Asia. So if you're in one of those places, maybe you can join me. If you're like a super early bird in the US, maybe you'll be able to join us as well. You can look at what the time says on Facebook and YouTube and see when the timing works out for you, because it'll automatically convert. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm here if I can help with anything else. I hope this has answered some of your questions and given you a starting point and given you some insight on how we get this stuff out of Tonara if they don't help us. The group is there if you have more questions, so dive in there, start asking your questions, asking other members. And yeah, let's just do this together. Let's stay calm. Let's still enjoy our weekend. Yes? Don't let this ruin it. And I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.